Hey makers! Now that you've all opened this month's subscription boxes, we're going to show you how to create the beautiful necklace and earring kit that we've picked for this month's mystical theme. We'll dive straight in with our tutorial on how to make the celestial amethyst drop chain necklace. Start by cutting your pieces of chain with side cutters. You will need one length of 4 cm, 2 lengths of 3 cm, 2 lengths of 6 cm, and 2 lengths of 5 cm. This needs to be super accurate, otherwise your pieces of chain won't hang well and they'll be too tight. We've included a small diagram to make it easier when measuring and cutting your pieces of chain. This will be helpful when deciphering where each length is supposed to go. Take one end of your flex right, thread on a crimp and your carabiner clasp before threading the flex right back through the crimp. Add gentle pressure to the crimp with snipe nose pliers. This will keep your clasp in place and give a neat finish to the end of your necklace. If you need to, cut away any excess wire with side cutters. Thread your first gold bead onto the wire, followed by 3.5 cm worth of amethyst chip beads. Each length of chip beads must be 3.5 cm in order for your pieces of chain to fall nicely in the middle of the necklace. Have a ruler or tape measure at hand so that you can keep checking the lengths of beads. Once you have thread on the first 3.5 cm section of chip beads, thread on another gold bead. Thread your second section of chip beads at 3.5 cm, followed by another gold bead. Repeat this step a third time. After the third section of beads, thread on a 5 cm piece of chain followed by a gold bead. Thread another 3.5 cm section of amethyst chip beads, then a gold bead. Add the opposite end of the 5 cm piece of chain so that the chain hangs from either side of the chip bead section. Add a 3 cm piece of chain. This is the first drop chain in your necklace, where you'll be adding your star beads later. Thread a 6 cm piece of chain after the chain drop, followed by a gold bead. After threading another section of 3.5 cm chip beads and a gold bead, thread the opposite end of your 6 cm piece of chain onto the wire. Add the 4 cm piece of chain drop, then the other 6 cm piece of chain. Follow with another gold bead and another section of 3.5 cm length of chip beads. This should be your 6th length of chip beads in total. Keep checking as you go along that your chip bead sections are 3.5 cm. It's important to get this right as your chain won't hang properly and you risk the necklace being too long on one side if not thorough. Thread on a gold bead, the other end of the 6 cm chain and then the other 3 cm chain drop. Thread your last piece of chain, the other 5 cm length, onto the wire. Add a gold bead and another 3.5 cm section of chip beads. Thread a gold bead onto the wire and add the other end of the 5 cm length of chain. Follow with another gold bead. All of your pieces of chain should now be in place on your necklace. Add 3 more sections of 3.5 cm lengths of chip beads, followed by a gold bead after each section to divide them. To finish this end of your necklace, Thread a crimp and a split ring onto the wire, before threading the wire back through the crimp. Make sure to leave a little room between your crimp and the last bead, so that the beads aren't too crowded and that your necklace drapes nicely. Add gentle pressure to the crimp with a pair of snipe nose pliers, securing the split ring in place. Trim away any excess wire with side cutters. Thread a star bead onto a head pin. Trim the head pin so that there is roughly 1 cm left above the star bead. With your round nose pliers, form a loop in the pin. Repeat these steps for the other 2 star beads. Using flat nose and snipe nose pliers, carefully twist open the jump ring. Attach your star bead by the loop and add to one of the chain drops in the necklace. Gently twist the jump ring closed again. Repeat the jump ring process for the other 2 star beads. Well done makers, this was definitely one of our more complicated kits. We hope you enjoyed the technical side of this make. Now for the more relaxing design of the two, the earrings. Cut a 3 cm length of chain and a 5 cm piece of chain. Thread a bead onto a head pin. Using side cutters, trim the top of your head pin, leaving roughly 1 cm above the bead. Form a loop in the wire with your round nose pliers. Repeat these steps using a star bead instead. Twist open a jump ring with flat nose and snipe nose pliers. Attach your star bead by the loop and thread on one end of your 5 cm length of chain. Gently close the jump ring again. Twist open another jump ring and add your other bead by the loop. Next, add the 3 cm length of chain by one end before closing the jump ring. Open another jump ring and attach both pieces of chain at the opposite ends to the beads, and attach your ear wire by the loop. Carefully twist your jump ring closed with flat nose and snipe nose pliers. Repeat these steps for the opposite earring. If you had enough flex right wire left over from your necklace, then you could always incorporate it into your earring design with some crimps. You completed your October sub-box kit. Well done again. We hope you enjoyed our tutorial and look forward to sharing our next subscription box pics. Feel free to tag us on socials or email in photos of your designs. Until next time makers.